All right, welcome second graders to the last step of this project. You will notice that I do have a different background than I've been using. The one that I've been using, I made the example and never made a video for it. So if you were in person, you had the option of doing any of the three complementary colors. So I gave you all blue and orange. Blue and orange are complementary colors to one another. If you were in person, you would also have been able to pick from yellow and purple, and then the other one is red and green. So this is an example of yellow and purple weaving, but that just, I wanted to explain why I have that. So now we should have a sheet that has our 3 or 2 or whatever you did and the shape that you traced cut out, okay? And then you should have 3 circles that were from the other sheet, but have the same size pieces that are missing in this one. So what we do is we call this positive and negative. So if this was the positive space, then these are the negative. If this was the negative space, then these would then become the positive. There really isn't a definition of what is what, or one being bigger and then the other one has to be, no, it's just whatever. If you call this black space the positive, then the space that is missing becomes the negative. So we have this, and you will notice I did it in white crayon so that you could all see it, but I have my name on this sheet in multiple spots. And then I have my name on my 3 circles. And I did it in white so you all could see it, but hopefully yours is in pencil. You don't need to see it that well. What is important about this is the side that you're going to be putting glue on, okay? So you need to be looking at the side with your names first, and that's going to stay up so that you put glue on this side, and then we'll flip it over to the back side. All right. So I'm going to move my glue bottle and my pencil out of the way. And what you're going to do first is we're going to take those circles off. And on the side that has your name showing, you're going to put that down. You're going to match up the corners, slide it over. Okay. And you're matching it up so that it's in that, matched up with the edge of the paper. Okay, just like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to trace just a little part of that circle. Okay, so we're just putting down, right, without moving this, we're tracing a little part of that shape, not the whole thing. I only went from here to there. And this will tell us where these circles need to be glued down. So I moved it a little bit, so I'll move it back. Okay. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it over here. So you'll notice I have 1, 2, 3. Okay. That is where these are going to go now. Okay. But I'm going to flip them over so I can see the name. I'm going to open my glue bottle. All I'm going to do is put a little outline of glue. So you'll notice I'm holding the glue bottle, right? We've talked about this. In between these fingers, I'm holding the piece of paper down with the other hand. I never want to use 2 hands on the glue bottle. And the other thing that's important is I'm not going all the way to the edge, but I'm also not using a ton of glue. This is all we need. Okay, so now I'm going to take it. I could also smear all this all the way to the edge. That way it's going to stick down all the way to the edge. But I'm lining up that line that was there. Okay, we can see that little line. I'm lining that up with my shape. And then I'm going to rub it down. Okay, again, we're gluing on the side that has our name. After done gluing, grabbing it with 1 or 2 hands. I like 2 hands. Matching it up with that traced outline. And the last one. Okay. Flipping it over and matching it up. Now the fun part is, if you did this right, and you did a nice job of cutting out, if I slide this over, the side that has my name, remember, if I slide it over, they should line up, which they pretty much do. Okay, so that's a good test. Now, we're going to practice what we're going to do. We're going to put glue on this side, and then we have to flip it over, okay, so that this circle matches this circle. These two circles are here. So what I like to do is I flip it over like this, but you have to be really careful with gluing, okay, because we don't want to get glue on here. We don't want to get glue on our shapes, okay? But this is just going to remind you that you're basically taking it like this and you're flipping it down, okay? So I know what I'm doing. Okay, so it goes from here. I slide it down because I don't like to get glue on everything. Making sure that I have the side with my name, I am going to take my glue bottle and I'm going to go right along or right around all of my cutout openings. I like to do that first. Okay, then I'm going to go around the outside of my rectangle piece of paper. Okay, now if I do it right and I don't use a ton of glue, all right, this is all the glue that I should need. Okay, now once again, what we need to do is we're going to flip it. Okay, now I'm holding it with two hands, and what I need to do is I need to match it up with this corner and the corner up at the top here. Okay, so I'm going to put it down, match it up, and then I can just kind of drop it. And if I do it right, and I match up my corners, it should be what we call a mirrored image. So if we look at a mirror, it's the same thing, just the opposite side, right? It should be a mirrored image of what these look like. Okay, so now I want to flip the whole thing over, and I like to then rub the whole thing down. And voila, you have your finished product. All right, so let these dry before we take pictures. I'll maybe have one little step to clean things up next class. So we'll submit next week. All right, good luck, everyone. Hope the video helped.